best thing about Rand Paul?
Well, the best thing about Rand Paul is that he seems to have mastered the language of empathy. Empathy is something that Republican parties had a hard time dealing with. And by empathy, I mean the ability to see outside your own shoes into the minds of someone whose experience is completely different than yours. And Rand Paul seems to not only have some of that language mastered, but he actually seems to be empathetic in a way that I haven't seen Republican candidates be empathetic in a long time. In the Bill Clinton way, I feel your pain, people like to mock that. It's really important. People really do need to understand that presidential candidates understand what they're going through. And of course, for Rand Paul, it's part of the reason why, as he notes all the time, that media says he's so interesting, because he's able to do this in ways that other candidates aren't.
So shouldn't libertarians, which really is what Rand Paul is, shouldn't they be the empathetic group? I mean, it seems to me that if you were a true libertarian, I say this all the time on the show, that you wouldn't care about gay marriage and you wouldn't care about medical marijuana because you'd want people to be responsible for their own bodies. I thought his answer on gay marriage a couple weeks ago was pretty decent. He said, I don't want to do anything with the government. If certain religious institutions don't want to do it, fine, but as long as it's equal under the law. A lot of gay people weren't happy with that, but I actually thought that was a pretty okay answer, especially for a guy that's trying to get through a primary where people are not okay with that.
It is the perfect answer for that primary, I think. Absolutely. And I think particularly in criminal justice reform, in the way he talks about young black men being deprived of their lives and families being deprived of young black men, incarceration rates, he evinces an understanding of the issue that I think could only come from someone who's truly empathized. And empathy is a really, really hard quality in just general human interaction, but also I think in politicians, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, where do you think stuff like NSA and drones, where do you think that puts him with the party? Not necessarily
with the party.
With
the party,
electorate.
NSA the party probably can support what he's saying. Drones, because if they associate that with strong counterterrorism policies, he's going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, I just did a video on it, but I literally have had a drone flying over my house for like
I'm
3 weeks on and off, no joke. And I'm like, he's the only one talking about it, but I think the next step, forget what drones halfway across the world, but it's drones right here on American soil.
It's a really good point. In fact, that drones is personal now. It's not just the thing that kills terrorists in Pakistan. It's the thing that's invading our privacy, or Americans and collateral and innocent people. But it's also the thing that's just right above us and zipping around and invading our privacy. And I think that's a gut issue. It's a good issue for him to run on in the general election too.